All right. We're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPod.club production. That's right, episode 726 of STSPod.club and episode 121 of Memphis Wrestling's Rolling into Mempho, baby. Woo! Go to Patreon by going to stspod.club, and in the left hand, no, not the left hand, in the right hand corner, the other left hand, go to the link of all links and you can join Patreon. This past week we did WTF News Desk, the most listened to uh, series on our feed. And we also had a big episode of Shooting Star talking about hard questions. Fun episode. Go to the main feed, stspod.club, and listen to those every week. Is this the first time you joined us? Shame on you, because every week we do hits, misses, MVP, question of the week, what's happening, must see, and that's it. That's what we do. So now to the upcoming events, and then on with the show.
Memphis Wrestling is hotter than ever. Join us live Sunday, June 25th. The Pope is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Meet the Pope at our VIP experience and catch him in action live. Thursday, July 13th, Memphis Wrestling tag teams with the Ingomar Baseball for a big fundraiser benefiting the Ingomar Baseball team. Sunday, July 16th, Dr. Tom Pritchard is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Saturday, August 19th, Memphis Wrestling and the Pontotoc Run Club are fundraising for St. Jude. Tickets and sponsorship opportunities are available now. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
All right, let's talk about hits. Hits for week 121. Maria's back. Yay! And she looked fabulous, guys. Good to see her back. She was inside the studio doing stuff, and I thought that was a real good hit there. Beale Street. It was on Beale Street. It was live outside on Beale Street. The program was today. I absolutely loved that. This was taped from last Saturday on Beale Street. Loved it. We then had another big hit with Robert's Legacy against Mike Anthony and Kay Toomer. Big win from Anthony and Toomer. I said these guys, the Robert Legacy, looked undefeated last week and undefeatable last week. But wow, when you got two big guys like Mike Anthony and Kay Toomer, the superpowers are what do we want to call them? If you got two guys like that, they can beat anybody. Let me just say anybody. Next, a big hit, Posse Vignette. A Posse Vignette as a posse beat up people at Ghost River. Absolutely loved it. They took chicken wings from someone's plate. Let me just tell you, the posse started on Beale Street. So it was the Beale Street posse when they first started out. Perfect vignette for them. We had Tim Bosby searching for an opponent. He says he's not going to do it from someone in the dressing room. He wants to wrestle someone in the crowd. We then have Lance and Tim Grind out there. We see Lance jumping in the ring, but it ends up being Tim Bosby against Tim Grind. And all I can say, that's the business, dog. That's right. In a big upset, a big win, we have a big win as Tim Grind pins him, and everyone thinks that Tim has won the title. This is what we call in the business a dusty finish. Crowd went crazy, but it makes him the number one contender, as he mentions later in a promo. All right. Next up, we had DK and Ray Sanders putting the titles against the line against Matt Williams and Prince Gaston. Heat was on Ray with a hot tag to DK. This is a formulated match that these two guys do. And I have no problem with it. DK and Ray Sanders, the big super kicks, lining it up with a frog splash. And we know 1, 2, 3, The winners and still tag team champs, DK and Ray Sanders. Next was a fun segment, another big hit as Brother Ash came out. Brother Ash Taylor came out, and we had him, Swole, Al Capone, and Ray Collins coming out and throwing him out on Bill Street. He actually said, "Do you know who you're messing with? Do you know who you're messing with?" Well, I see that we'll probably get some more stuff with Swole and Ray Collins against Brothers Ash's group there. Next was a really nice promo that I love the way what they're doing here. Okay, so we have a Danny Limelight promo here. Danny Limelight, the world champion, does a promo, and guess who he is challenging? That's right, Gun Show, Brett Michaels, hit. Danny Limelight coming in to defend the world championship against Gun Show Brett Michaels. That interview with Tim Grind and Lance, and Grind is saying he thought it was the end of his wrestling career. Was this the end of his wrestling career? But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not the end of his wrestling career. He said if Lance will be in his corner, he'll continue to wrestle. Should be interested. Then we also had an Anthony and Toomer promo. The Mega Powers, Superpowers, the two big bad dudes. I love Mike Anthony on promos. Love this. And then we had the main event with Gun Show Brett Michaels against Van Vicious. And all I can say is it was pouring down, raining. Big thumbs up to both of those guys for continuing to wrestle. It was a very quick match. Big hit. Reigning Van Vicious against Gun Show. That was our hits for week 121. Misses for 121. You know, I really hated seeing the Roberts Legacy lose. Being a fan of them and them just starting out with everything, I hated seeing them lose. But if they were going to lose to anyone, look, Mike Anthony and K Toomer, two guys that could beat everyone else on the roster. So I can understand that. Also puts them in a place for them to do some more stuff with Mike Anthony and K Toomer. Also, not a huge fan of the dusty finish with Tim Grind looking like he won the belt, but he did not win the belt. Not always a fan of that finish, but it does set him up as the number one contender. Should be some fun stuff with Tim Grind. That was our misses for week 121. MVP. Well, I'm going to give the MVP to two people this week. Two people, Gun Show and Van Vicious. It was a quick match, but it is MVP quality because it's pouring down raining and these guys did not stop wrestling. And you never know what could happen. The ring was getting really slick. So big thumbs up, MVP, Gun Show Brett Michaels, and Van Vicious. All right, we're up to question of the week. You see right here. You can call, you can leave a message, you can text us, you can send us a smoke signal, leave a question of the week. We're going to do something different this week, though. I am going to have a question of the week from the current episode of Shooting Star, which is called Hard Questions. It's on all the feeds. Go and watch all the questions on Hard Questions with Shooting Star. But here's one for Dustin Starr. John Douglas wanted to know, and we've had a street fight on TV, and I've asked you about this
bunch of them.
What about, were you ever going to have the cage? You going to bring the cage into the Wrestle Center?
Yeah, the cage has to be custom built. You know, the cage needs to travel.
We need a sponsor for the cage, folks. So
yeah, a sponsor for the cage would be good.
Holler up with Dustin. He'll help you out there.
Well, I mean, I honestly think that any construction team, you know, Big Daddy talking to you, I know you're listening to this. Any construction team or home improvement team or anything like that to have their name and their marketing attached to our cage, because I think it would only be used sparingly. It would pop a house. I'm not going to say you won't see a cage in the Wrestle Center, because if there's a will, there's a way. I mean, if you can get one custom built, the problem is, you know, I've gone out to the custom built cage stores around town, and they're kind of hard to find.
Right. It
You
would
don't
have to
go to
be
the store and buy a cage. You have to have a cage built. You have to have somebody that has a
or you
whole.
have somebody already has one, but that's not going to fit in the Wrestle Center, so you have to get a big. And this goes right to something that someone
Well,
else
our
wrote.
travel ring is a 16-foot ring, and that's probably what it would have to fit. Our
Right.
Wrestle Center ring is a 19-foot ring, so I don't think they would be interchangeable. I don't think. But you would probably see a cage match outside of the Wrestle Center before inside. But I hate that, because I'd want the people to enjoy it at the Wrestle Center.
Yeah, it's
So
different. I mean, it's I've seen it in some real small buildings where they put the cage up, and it seems to. I've seen where I don't like it, but I understand why they do it. Where they put the cage up, and every match is in a cage. Here, let me let you in on something, folks. When they do that because it takes so damn long to put the
yep,
cage up and take the cage down. So
we
that's
would
why they
not
do
do
it.
that. We would not do that. Wherever we were, we would have matches, and then we'd have one big main event. And also, like, that would be, so if we were going to use history, I would say that the cage match would have been the blow off episode 100 Gun Show versus Mike, is what I would have
Right,
said that
right,
cage
right.
match
Yeah,
would be.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing else that's been quite hot enough. Um, Austin has some good heat, but there's nobody that's, you know, you'd put him in a cage with. Jerry Lynn's not coming back. He's not wrestling. You know what I mean? So it
Right.
would definitely have been the Mike and Gun Show. That would have been fantastic to have them in the cage. But then also, it's year 2. I mean, how quickly should we have a cage match, you know?
Right, right. Well, that's the things y'all think about the other people
But
don't.
it would
So
have to be something that where when we announced it, that people wanted to see it so well that they bought a ticket to go see it, you
right,
know?
right,
And then the last thing I'll say about the cage is there's so many other things as far as what we need for the company before cage, you know? We
right.
just picked up a 20-foot trailer that we painted the inside blue. It looks really cool. We're about to deck out the outside of it. So to me, a trailer, you know, you couldn't have a cage if you didn't have a trailer anyway. So it's like building blocks. Cage will come.
Right, right. All right, that was question of the week. Again, go here, leave your question, and we'll answer it here every week on Question of the Week. What's a happening? What's a happening for week 121? Well, Danny Limelight is what's happening. That's right. Danny Limelight coming in, challenging the gun show. Should be a fun program there. I can't wait to see what happens. That's what's happening for week 121. All right, must see. Must see for week 121. I said I wasn't a big fan of the finish, but it's got to be your must see. Tim Grind, Memphis wrestling legend Tim Grind, steps back in the ring and defeats Bosby. That's right. Steps into the ring and defeats Bosby. My must see for week 121. All right, everyone knows what I'm fixing to say. That's right. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, I love my mama.